Hello class. So today's discussion is going to be a video presentation of a data set that I've collected, and this throws light on a lot of important topics. So for this, I have chosen data on teachers in the United States. We all know that the US has a great education system, which is why a lot of people travel all the way to get educated here. But there's a lot of problems in the system as well, and there's a lot of facts that we need to understand, that who dominates this profession, how experienced do you need to be in this profession, and what sort of problems this profession is facing lately. So first, let's get into the statistics. It's important to understand how important the education sector is for the U.S. government, and through initiatives like the Every Student Success Act, that is the ESSA, and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the U.S. government ensures that all children in the U.S. receive high-quality education according to the U.S. Department of Education. Now let's look at some facts here. The projected number of teachers nationwide for 2021 was 3,684,000, with 3,197,000 at public schools and 488 at private schools, which means that the public schools make up a larger portion of the teachers. This would allow for a student-to-teacher ratio of 15.3 on average, which breaks down to 15.8 at public schools and a ratio of 11.7 at private schools, which means that students at private schools are getting more attention because there's a bigger ratio. There's a lesser ratio here, sorry. Okay, now let's look at some more projections. So projections estimate a total of 3,909,000 teachers in the U.S. by 2029, with 3,390,000 in public schools and 520,000 at private schools, allowing for a student-teacher ratio of 14.5 overall, and 15.1 at public schools and 11 at private schools. So what the problem is that we're going to discuss today is about understaffing. More than half of all public schools in the country reported that they were understaffed at the start of the 2022-23 school year, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. And 69% reported that too few teacher candidates applying for open positions were the primary challenge. So the main challenge here is being understaffed, and the primary reason for that is that there's not a lot of candidates applying for this position. So let's look at some of the statistics that can help us understand why this might be happening. So there are over 4,492,114 teachers currently employed in the U.S. 74.3% of all teachers are women, while 25.7% are men. This means that this is a women-dominated profession for a change. And since this is women-dominated, whatever factors affect them most will affect the profession overall, because they make up a large percentage of it. We need to understand that the average age of an employed teacher is 42 years old. This means that not only does the teacher have to be educated, she also has to reach a certain level of expertise to be teaching the students. Most common ethnicity of teachers is white, followed by Hispanic or Latino, Black or African American, and then comes Asian. Teachers are most in demand in New York, and Baltimore pays an annual average wage of $61,238, which is the highest in the United States. So teachers in Baltimore are happy. I guess I can say that. And a major indicator is also the fact that teachers are 73% more likely to work at education companies in comparison to private companies. So in general, teachers are pretty noble, and they focus on creating value. But what is the problem here? So we see that women earn 95 cents for every dollar that a man earns. So even though women dominate it, they still are underpaid in some way, which is sort of a problem in all of America in general, if I look at it. So as of August, special education and math teaching positions were among the most difficult teaching positions to fill, with 78% and 75% of schools reporting that it was either very or somewhat difficult, respectively, to hire fully certified teachers in those areas. So mathematics and special education are, although these are like completely different, we can see that special education requires like a lot of knowledge and certification from the teachers and to be able to reach that profession. And when it comes to math, there's a lot of technicality and a lot of knowledge that the teacher is supposed to have. Of course, every profession of every subject requires that, every course requires that, but math requires a lot more, I believe, because it's a lot more technical and has a lot of logical problems in it. So we see that it's really difficult to find certified teachers in those areas, which means that difficult subjects could sort of make it difficult for you to find teachers in that profession, or so to say. So for understanding challenges our public schools face, allowing policymakers to provide timely assistance to help our students and educators in areas where it is needed is very important. Being a teacher is very in demand and a very demanding role to be in as well. It is important that teachers are well educated and that they are having knowledge in all spheres to be able to provide knowledge to their students, because students are going to shape their whole lives based on what they learn in a classroom. So it is important for the government to create more incentives to make this profession a more high-paying job, as it is very low compared to other professions. All of these could together help in assisting teaching becoming a very noble, helpful, and well-paid profession.